Ontario's Inspector General of Policing announced a province-wide probe into police corruption. It comes after 8 current and former Toronto police officers were charged in Project South, a sweeping investigation into police corruption. Ryan Teschner says organized crime is insidious and eroding public confidence in police. The probe will cover all 45 police forces in the province and will be conducted by an independent inspector who has yet to be appointed. It will focus on 5 areas: supervision, screening, evidence handling, database access, and officer fitness.
People most often encounter police at moments of crisis, when they are frightened, injured, grieving, or in immediate danger. In those moments, public trust is not abstract. It determines whether people will seek help, whether they will cooperate, tell the truth, and accept protection. Without this trust, even lawful authority loses legitimacy, and public safety is weakened for everyone.
CP24's crime analyst Steve Ryan joins us live with all the details. Steve, so many questions, including why have an independent inspector? Why can't the Inspector General's office do it?
Well, the Inspector General is appointing a lead investigator, if you will, and there'll be a team underneath that lead investigator, and they're going to look at all 45 police services throughout the province and see if they can do things, well, it's reactive at this point, but also proactively to detect, to prevent any sort of corruption, and to see how police services can sort of fortify themselves from being a victim of organized crime if, in fact, it goes from one police service into another. So it's a big job. Sadly, we're at this stage in policing, but clearly, as we heard at that press conference last week, organized crime has infiltrated the police service, and now it's time to see what can be put in place that can prevent this from getting worse or happening again.
This is indeed a big job. 45 police forces across the province are going to be inspected. What exactly is going to go into this inspection?
So the systems will all be reviewed and analyzed. What can be done when it comes to hiring, what can be done when an officer is on the job, what can be done when an officer is handling evidence, and what can be done to monitor an officer's fitness for duty with regards to their own mental health, any addictions that they may have as a result. But make no mistake, there is a serious investigation on the go right now throughout the province, because we've got the province now looking at police services to see what sort of things can be put into place to prevent this from getting any worse than what it is right now. So
the inspector's job is not to find the corruption itself, is it?
That's right. The investigations will be conducted. For instance, the one in Toronto is being conducted by York Regional Police. We heard the other day that's with a couple of officers suspended out in Peel Region. So you can see how this may be seeping into other police agencies. The Inspector General's job, as you said, is not to find a fault or criminality with regards to specific officers. It's going to look at the systems that are in place, the checks and balances, and can they be strengthened, and can we prevent this from getting any worse, and can we prevent this from happening altogether?
The person has yet to be appointed. Who do you think would be up for this job?
I would suspect that it's going to be somebody who's got a pretty good knowledge in policing itself, managing police, knowing the policies and the procedures. So it could be somebody from a past police services board, or even a former chief or deputy chief. Somebody's got overall knowledge of the entire scope as to what needs to be looked into. But definitely whoever has that job is going to have a very important job to do for everybody in the province of Ontario.
And what do you think, 45 police services, looking at each one specifically, it's a really big job. Would it be just one person, you think, or do you think that person would have a team as well?
I would suspect that there will be a team of investigators that will work for the lead investigator, and then they'll report back to the province. A lot of the things that are in place right now when it comes to handling evidence, when it comes to hiring practices, when it comes to monitoring fitness for duty, a lot of the police services do a lot of the same things. So they'll find a lot of repetitive procedures and policies if, in fact, they're looking at every one of those police services. But then they've got to come up with hard, fast ways to prevent this from happening again, and to detect those that may be in law enforcement who want to do of criminality.
Thank you so much for this, Steve. Appreciate your insight into all of this. CP24's Steve Ryan is our crime analyst.